Hey, what's up, comic fam? It's your boy, the Bearded Comic Bro, and it is time again for another monthly review. We're going to be looking at my 5 favorite books from the month of March. Now, I know it's already a little delayed, and we are already about in the mid-April here, but, you know, quarantine has kind of thrown a lot of us all for a loop, so who knows what day, month, time, year it is, right? Anyways, but before we jump into the video, make sure you guys make sure you subscribe, comment below, let me know what you guys think about these books that I talk about, let me know what you guys think I should be checking out and reading. I read the comments, I appreciate you guys supporting me, so if you guys can go ahead, hit that like, hit that subscribe, that'd be awesome. And hey, let's talk comics.
Better put the word out. Get ready for the nerd out. Better put specs on. Better break necks on. I cut handsome checks for my expansion.
Up first, we have Batman number 90. Now, this is early in on the run from James Tynion, and he took over from Tom King, I believe, at 86, maybe 87. And book 90 is the first appearance of the designer. Now, we got book 89, we got the first cameo appearance of the designer, but he wasn't really the reason book 89 was so big and so popular. It was because of Punchline. Now, I'm pretty jazzed about book 90 because I think this is where we also get the first appearance of the designer. We also get the first, the origin story of the designer. And because of the origin story, I'm invested now in the designer more than I'm in Punchline. Now, who knows, once we get to know a little bit more about Punchline, I might jump into that a little bit more. But I'm super excited that I was already reading Batman books. I already had them on my pull list, so it was easy to get. I was reading Hell Arisen and had that on my pull list, so I was able to get the cameo of Punchline and the first appearance of Punchline. But right now, the designer is a more intriguing character, and we see in this issue where he brings the Riddler, he brings Penguin, he brings Joker, he brings Catwoman together, and he's talking about how he can give them certain things and how they can basically just run Gotham, and it is just a really intriguing story. And so I'm really excited to see where James takes this storyline and how he incorporates it, because we're about to get into the start of the Joker war here. And it really hinges on some of the stuff that happens here in book 90. And, you know, so we'll see how the designer falls into it. We'll also see how Punchline plays into it a little bit more as we start to see her, more about her. I think we get her first origin story when they do the Joker 80th special here coming up whenever they start releasing comics again. So, but if you haven't checked out 90 and you just kind of bought 89 for the hype, man, check out book 90, read 89, read 90, start to get yourself in, get your feet wet here about what's going on to help set the stage for what happens here in the Joker war coming up. I think if you're a Batman fan, you're going to enjoy it. I really been digging what James is doing with the storyline. So, hey, I hope you guys check it out. Up next, for some of my favorite books from the month of March, we have Strange Adventures. Now, I mentioned Tom King previously. He was on the Batman run, Volume 3, from 1 to, I think, 85, and then he switched off. He has some other plans coming up, but one of his things that he's starting to do is he was going to do this series called Strange Adventures, where he's writing, Mitch Gerrits is on art, Evan Doc Shaner is also on art, and man, this book was a blast from the get-go. I know it's got a lot of hype. It's got a lot of excitement because it teamed up Tom and Mitch again. Now, Tom and Mitch did Mr. Miracle, and if you haven't read the Mr. Miracle series, check that book out. It is fantastic. It's a great run. You can get it at your local comic shop. Not right now because they're all closed, but find it online. Check it out. It's a great read. And I don't know a lot about Adam Strange. I don't know a lot about Strange Adventures, but I was excited because of the creative team behind it. And I think a lot of people were in that same boat. Now, some people had issues with Tom King's, how he operated with Batman run, But I will tell you much, not too many people had issues with what he did with Mr. Miracle or Vision. And I think these are the types of characters that allow Tom King to shine. Because what he does is he takes lesser known characters, not non-essential characters, not important characters, but just lesser known to the common fan. And what he does is he puts his own twist on it. He puts his own story writing. And I think he's a brilliant storyteller from that aspect. And I think probably some of the reasons that people had some of the issues with his run on Batman is because we all know Batman. Batman has been around for ages, right? Since the 40s, late 40s, early 50s, Batman has been a part of our culture. And I think, and we're all familiar with it. But so when he started making some tweaks and starting to put his vision onto it, I think people kind of got a little hesitant, like, whoa, that's not my Batman. But where he shines, and these books allow him to shine, is with Vision or with Mr. Miracle or now with Strange Adventures, is he's taking some characters that have a lot of potential for some great storytelling in it, but are just lesser known to the comic community and outside of it, almost unknown. And he's able to put his storytelling on it. And I'll tell you what, I think Mitch and Tom and Evan's artwork, the combination of those two with Tom's writing is just a beautiful thing. So if you haven't gotten on to the hype yet of Strange Adventures, check it out. Go buy some stuff online. I know Midtown Comics right now is, they even have some Tom King signed copies of Strange Adventures issue number 1. Pick it up, check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you guys have read Strange Adventures. Are you guys digging it? We're only one run in, but I think you guys will really like it. So, yeah. So that's up for number 2. Up next, from some of my favorite books from March, we have Join the Future. Now, this book comes from Aftershock, and this is issue 1, so you can jump right in very easily, just like you can with Strange Adventures, number 1 issue. Hop right in if you haven't been checking out. Join the Future, though, is such a cool story. I read the first one. It flew by. I read this issue, and it just flew by, and I couldn't wait for more. So this quarantine is killing me because I want to read. I want to see where they take it. This is one of those stories that I feel like as I tell you guys, you'll be like, oh, this is a story we've heard. We've seen this before. It's set in a dystopian future. But what it is you almost have like this utopia here of a society where, and they're saying, hey, and these people are trying to get people who are outside the civilization to join this kind of area. And, they're whining and dining them with, nice houses, nice lands, nice restaurants, everything. And then you have a lot of people more kind of almost set off into like a rural area. Like it's kind of set in a kind of almost feels like a Western vibe. So you have like this Western vibe within this modern day civilization. And they're trying to say, hey, you guys need to join our civilization. We got so much to offer. And you have these small groups of sects of people basically that are like, we don't trust you guys. We're not joining it. We don't believe in technology. So the storyline follows a dad and his daughter and son, and he's out there teaching them how to hunt, right? Live off the land kind of thing. And I'm not going to give anything away about what the story happens here in the end or anything, but it's an engaging book. Now, this is from Zach Kaplan. He's a writer and creator. And I'll tell you what, I was captivated from the first page to the end. And I really am excited to see what Zach does here with the rest of this story. So if you didn't give Join the Future a chance, take some time during this time that you're off, your new comics aren't coming out. Find a copy of this, check it out, read it. Comment in this video below. Let me know what you guys think. If you checked out Join the Future already, I like it. I think this is one of my new favorite series moving forward, which is a bold statement to say, but check it out for sure. Up next on my monthly review, we got another book from Aftershock. This is Bad Reception number 4, and it is done by Juan Doe. Now, Juan does the writing. Juan does the art. Juan does this whole book, and this is fantastic. It's kind of one of those horror vibe comics, which is something I'm not typically into, but it has just been a fun read. I don't remember why I picked up the first issue, but if you haven't checked out Bad Reception, by all means get it. So Bad Reception, kind of give you a synopsis, because this is issue 4. You can still find the other 3 issues easily at your local comic shop when they open back up. But the concept of this story in Bad Reception is that there's a social media elite, is kind of like where she has all these followers and she's getting married to another guy who's an author, a lot of followers, and they're going to do a small, like 8-person wedding on this remote island, and they're going to do no cell phones, no social media at all. And that causes problems because the publicist is like, no, you need to do this and blah, blah, blah. And the author has this storyline where he writes a book that is kind of talks about how the effects of social media, and it just is intriguing. And then, as you would expect from a horror comic, people start dying. And you're in a remote island, you don't have cell phones, and these are like the cream of the crop of your social media, Instagram follower models and stuff like that. So this is your Kim Kardashians. This is your whoever it is that is just killing the social media game. That's who's in this book, and they are slowly being picked off by the amount of followers they have. So starting with the least to the next month. And it's not something I typically like, but man, this has been a fun book. And I think what's intrigued me the most is just Juan has basically created this entire book, and to know what goes into writing it and creating and drawing, and for a comic, for what he does, that he basically does it all. That is skill and that's talent, and I am just so impressed. So if you haven't given Bad Reception a check yet, definitely check out this book. I think you'll enjoy it. It's just as a fun read. It's a fun horror read. So if you haven't checked it out, by all means, do it now. So my final book for March is Billionaire Island, and this is from Ahoy Comics, and it is created by Mark Russell. And if you haven't read Mark Russell books yet, what are you doing? Mark Russell did the Flintstone series. He's currently working on Second Coming, which Second Coming is Jesus is rooming with this superhero type. It's a Superman type person, and just how Jesus and a superhero kind of operate together in modern day society. And it is just a great take on religion and on just the world in and of itself. That's a specialty of what Mark Russell does. Mark Russell brings this social satire into comics, and I think he does just a really brilliant job of doing that. So Billionaire Island here, you have this island that is created by these billionaires, hence the name, that has secluded themselves from the world. Now in the mainland, some stuff has happened that is caused by a lot of these billionaires off into the world, that they then separate themselves from the island, and some people are like, well, we got to figure out what's going on, and so they're trying to infiltrate this billionaire island. And so you have your Bill Gates type figure, your Donald Trump type figures, your whatever billionaires you can think of. And again, this is a social commentary. This is what Mark Russell does. It's his niche. It's his specialty. But this was just a lot of fun. And I think what was really cool is when Second Coming, the book I talked about, was originally with DC. It was going to be a DC book, and then there was this uproar from the Christian community where they released, and so DC released Second Coming, and Ahoy took in that book. And what Ahoy has now done is, I think they've embraced Mark Russell, and they've kind of said, hey, this is a win-win for both of us. You do what you do, and we'll put it out there. And I think that's what Mark Russell is starting with this first issue of Billionaire Island. Again, it's another book that I'm just excited to read. I think it's fun. Whenever I pick up one of his books, I can't put it down, and I'm excited for the next issue. So if you haven't checked out Billionaire Island, by all means, if you haven't checked out Second Coming, check out those books. If you haven't checked out his run on the Flintstones, do that. But check out Billionaire Island from Ahoy Comics. I think you'll really enjoy it. So that's it for the top 5 favorite books of March. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I hope you're finding them helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you get all the notifications of what's going on. But more importantly to me, comment on these videos. Comment down below. Let me know if you've been reading these books. Let me know if you've checked out these books because of a review. I want to interact with you guys on this. I am quarantined, obviously, like half the world is, and I just love talking comics. So I want you guys to talk comics with me. So leave comments below. Let me know if you guys have checked out these books. Let me know if there's some stuff that came out in March that I didn't talk about that you think I make sure I should really check out. But let's just continue to build this vibe of what it's like to have this community of comic book nerds as we read. But make sure you subscribe. Tons of new content coming out. We're going to have another Crafting Comics with my boy Boof again here really soon. We're going to do some more videos coming up because, hey, what else do we have to do right now but to shoot videos? So make sure you guys subscribe so you get all the notifications coming out of when new videos are dropping. They're going to start dropping a lot more regularly right now as I have some more time in the midst of being stuck in my house. So, hey, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and as always, I hope you guys are enjoying a good comic and nerding out.